Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thanks so much. It looks like you can all hear me. Hi. Hello. Welcome. If you've never caught us before, we're live from the apocalypse. We're a not-for-profit TTRPG studio that makes actual play content like streams and podcasts and things like that to raise money for nonprofits, aid organizations, and other important causes. And we're currently raising money for medical aid for Palestinians and the very important work that they are doing um, in Palestine. And been talking about this for a long time. We're not going to stop talking about it. And we're still raising money for them. This is the last of our 12-ish games of Haz-Mas fundraiser push. Every year we do it around the holidays. This is the final game that happened to get pushed out to February because of various reasons. We always have a couple, and so this will wrap things up officially. We thank you so much for joining us. So in just a second, I'm going to turn it over, but I do just want to let you know that, like, you probably may have noticed that we have hidden the subscribe button. We ask that if you like what you see here, instead of doing the normal Twitch things of subscribing or giving bits or any of that stuff, you instead just give directly to Medical Aid for Palestinians if you can, whatever you can spare. There is no expectation. Even the price of whatever a Twitch sub would run you helps immensely. So you can just click the donate button instead of the subscribe button and do that. And if you do that, an alert will play. Yeah, it'll help. So if you can, if you want to, please do. But that is most of the stuff and the things. Everything else is pretty normal. There are channel points. There are GIF reactions that you can feel free to hit in the chat. With all of that being said, I'm going to turn it over to our storyteller for this game. I'll see you again at the break. Bye.
Hi, it's me. I'm Jilly, and welcome to Dialect, specifically Talking in a Winter Wonderland, which is a title that I am still incredibly proud of because puns are important for survival. Um, we are here today to create a language. We are playing Dialect, a game published by Thorny Dryad. Oops. I have many bookmarks in this right now, which is why, chaos. Um, this is an awesome game. The tagline is a game about language and how it dies, and it is a unique game that is very different every time I've played it. So I encourage you to check it out and stick around with us, um, and raise money for a good cause, and play this game yourself if you feel the urge. Um, we are going to welcome my friends today, who are going to be creating this language along with me. We're going to do a quick little who you are, where we can find you. We're not going to introduce characters yet because we will be doing that momentarily. Um, so I'm Jilly. You can find me at Oh Look It's Jilly most places on the internet. My pronouns are she, her, and I am excited to be here. And I am going to send it over to Corset because why not?
Hello, I'm Corset. And my pronouns are she, her. I'm from the state of Maryland. I am a burlesque performer, a burner, a nerd, all around cat loving weirdo witch person. And I'm happy to be here.
Next, we will have Isabel.
Hello, everyone. My name's Isabel. I'm an engineer, a TTRPG writer and performer, and just regular writer in my spare time. You can find me all over the internet at Isabel is okay, and any pronouns is fine as long as you're respectful. It's all good to me.
Awesome. We are going to Q.
Hi, I'm Q. You can find me on the internet at Midnight Inc. It's midnight underscore, no more, midnight, no more underscore, INQ. Q is my name. I'm sure you get it. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. I keep making cowboys. Just AP performer. I'm a part of the production team for Tales from the Table Studios, and I'm over here at LFTA a lot.
Awesome. And last but certainly not least, JT.
Hello, I'm JT. My pronouns are they, them. You can find me all over the internet at WeebG. I'm an actual play performer, and I'm the head producer over at Entropy Emporium, and you can also find me here sometimes.
Is JT a little quiet for anyone else, or do I just need to bump
A
up?
little
A
bit.
tad, just a tad. Yeah.
I'm going to bump up my volume just slightly. All right. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, God, for fixing the thing. Awesome. So today I've created a custom scenario that they're called backgrounds for settings in this system based on holiday shenanigans. For informational purposes, you can find a number of created scenarios in the book, but you can also just make your own. And so I'm going to give us a little introduction to that, and then we are going to create some aspects, which are things that are true about our isolated world, our isolated community. So being part of the North Pole is nice if you like that sort of thing, but everyone's sort of been left to their own devices, and other than the letters coming steadily in and the usual stuff, it's all been very quiet from outside. If I were running a giant global present operation, which I would never do, by the way, I'd at least want to hear from it once in a while. Maybe send a message or flowers. It's been forever since I've seen a flower. And anyway, this island of ice is our home now, and at least we're having some time to ourselves. The experience has been illuminating. We've got to keep the magic alive, after all. Now, we are going to ask and answer some questions, some aspects about this world. So this is open to everybody. Throw out ideas, and between us, we will create the 3 facts of this world. So the first one is, what are we trying to accomplish here? What is a goal that the community has?
It's a great question.
Are
It is a
these?
great question.
Is this a goal like within our community only? We're not trying to do anything outside. We're
You could
doing
be
the
trying to
outside.
reach out to outside, right? It could be the goal of like contact with the outside, influencing outside. But it is a kind of collective, it's kind of a purpose question.
Mm.
And not every character has to be completely aligned with this, but it can it can dictate something about our world is basically what we're looking
I
for here.
mean, we're making this is the North Pole, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, a main goal is to keep ourselves sort of secluded.
Okay. Keeping everything secluded, or keeping ourselves and our community secluded. Absolutely.
Right. There are things that we need to do, and we can't just have any regular schmegular guy just rock up on us. Like, I would like a present, please.
Yes. Yes. Secluded. Protecting the presence.
Mm-hmm.
Presence.
So we're sort of isolated in this scenario, right? And in our present making operation. Are we still able to help deliver the presents, or do we have like a stockpile of presents that we can't get out because of our isolation?
I mean, that's a thing that we can decide right now, right? Is there a stockpile? Is there a concern that it's not going to happen this year? So I guess my answer to that question is, you tell me.
Yeah, I don't know, gang. I think, yeah, because the idea of our like little scenario is that we are sort of like locked away, right? So I guess
Mhm.
we could go either direction, right? We could go like, we're locked away. That's good. We want to keep it that way. And we just have a way out to deliver the presents, but no other way to contact anyone else. Or we could have our way out blocked, I guess is maybe the way. Like, how isolated are we? Are we too isolated
Right.
to the point where we can't do our present delivering jobs, which would be a
Okay.
concern.
What? Yeah, I like the thought of, especially because this is basically going to be like early lore for North Pole. There was a way, like, into mainland and to the rest of the world, and now we don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that.
So yeah, we're working on alternative routes.
Okay. I am actually wondering if this is partially related to the next aspect generation question, which is how are we outgrowing the current system? Um, which may mean that there used to be a way to do this to access the outside world.
So maybe we had like an ice bridge and it's gone now.
Yeah, the ice
I
bridge
like
is
that.
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's completely isolated us. We had like a very specific route. Now the ice bridge is gone, whether it's broken up or melted or something, it's no longer there. So we have to figure out an alternative way to get these gifts that we and others in our community are creating out.
Yes. How can we do
Oh
that? Ooh, I like that noise. It's a good noise.
yes,
We need a noise.
maybe the North Pole isn't in this realm.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
there's like a dimensional.
So
right.
Ah.
we don't have a Santa who can like take them out
Oh
or
no, I think we have a Santa because there's
okay.
got to be a Santa to have
But
what
it's
I
not
am.
this is not earthly. This is
Right. I'm
a
No.
thinking.
different world.
I'm thinking it's very like Norse.
Mm-hmm.
So like you have the Bifrost.
Mm-hmm.
You have Heimdall to go, hey,
Mm-hmm.
hey, Asgard, Midgard,
Mm-hmm.
and the North Pole is in one of those other realms, and we had our ice bridge to travel to Earth,
An
which
ice
is
bridge, like similar to the Rainbow Bridge, right?
right,
So it's the same
exactly,
idea,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but not the
I
same
like
thing.
that.
yeah. So like we still have the reindeer that they can fly, but they can't. That doesn't help if they can't get
Right.
to
If they
Earth.
We
can't
Right.
can't
get
get to
there.
Earth.
Right, right.
So access is an issue
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Okay. Okay. I'm writing this down. I'm also putting this in a Google Doc that I'm going to share the link to momentarily so we can refer back. It's going to be our lexicon page. So as we create words, I'm going to add them. You can also add to them.
Okay.
But
That'll be helpful.
yes, I find it helpful because otherwise, if we were playing this game in real space, we would have index cards, but the world is large.
Yes, agreed.
And our third aspect, before we head into our community questions, is a free aspect, which means something about our world that influences it and is true. And that can be something that helps us, it can be a fact of life, it can be something that we strive for, something that we value. Because of the geography. It could be something to do with this dimension shift. Like I think it would be cool if it was something that just because of the different dimension was true about us and wasn't true about the world that we
Okay,
deliver presents to.
okay.
Mhm.
But I don't have any concrete ideas surrounding that. So,
I have maybe something that can help us narrow it down because I won't give away what my um archetype is, but
Mm.
I do have an aspect stipulation on it, which is that one of the aspects has to be my source of knowledge. So, as a jumping off point, something that maybe like something that holds our history or something that is a way that we collect knowledge, perhaps.
Oh,
If
I like
anyone has
that.
any other.
I was going to weave in that maybe we don't have, it's true about this world. We don't have technology in our world because
Okay.
it's not necessary. It's not needed. We have
Right.
magic
Magic, yeah.
that replaces
Um,
technology.
We have magic. So maybe that is like, are we talking magic talking books? Are we talking an well, there I shouldn't say an oracle. I was going to say, are we talking an oracle? But there is a card for archetypes that is the oracle, so I don't want to like, this is mine now. But is this a person or I guess a being that is this repository of knowledge, or is this something else?
Or, I mean, it could be a practice of oral history,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
hmm
All of it is passed down through oral traditions. Histories are passed down through oral tradition.
I'm really excited to describe whatever North Pole magic looks like.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's a fun time. So I'm interested in how this aspect interacts with things like the naughty list, because does that mean that the naughty list is just a person who has memorized all of these names and memorizes them every single year? Because I think that's hilarious.
It's just like one disgruntled elf or something.
Just
Just-
one elf.
Just
No, it's
mad
gotta be.
every year.
They just
it's
get
gotta
a
be
name
two.
popping in their head.
It's gotta be
Mhm.
two.
It's got to be two. Yeah.
You're right. One would be ridiculous.
Absolutely. You have the naughty list. You have the nice list.
Yeah.
Sure, that makes sense. And then
Yes.
sometimes they fight about which list people are supposed to be on.
And they're
they're
definitely
twins.
twins, and they're definitely
Yes,
Geminis.
twins.
Yes, absolutely.
One
is
wears
super-
red, one wears green.
Mm-hmm.
One is super peppy. The other one is super grim. And it's not who you think.
It's not who you think. Yes.
It's not
The nice list is grim and depressed.
It's like
The naughty list, the
Madison
lights.
with two N's and a Y, but it's not where you
Alrighty.
think.
It's
Yeah.
not what you think.
Honestly, an
Absolutely.
icon, aspirational.
Yeah, so those two are like Santa's attendants.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so we're gonna go to our community questions. I'm gonna ask a question to each of you. So, and then we're gonna go into characterization or characters, because we've above the table audience, we have pre-distributed our archetype cards for character creation, because that just makes life a little easier. JT, what does the North Pole look like?
Sorry, it's gonna be a bit noisy. The North Pole, I think, is
Hmm.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. The North Pole is whimsical. It is bright. It is cold, but never too cold.
Whimsical. Are we talking like Nightmare Before Christmas Land?
Yeah, something like that is what I would probably have been imagining.
Gotcha.
Lovely.
Cold, but not like cold when it's super windy, like cold when it's like still outside and you're like,
Nice.
okay, I can handle this.
It's like a nice, comfortable chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, It's like, okay, the one time I spent time in Denver, Colorado, where it was just like it was so cold, but it was a dry cold, so I
Hmm.
didn't mind so much. You know,
Right.
I was like, this is theoretically cold, but it doesn't feel cold. So I I can connect with this. I love it. Um Corset, how many of us are there? Like beings,
How
I
many
guess.
beings in this community? Um, I'm gonna say around 300.
Okay.
Small.
Around um Isabel, what are some or one of our routines?
Ooh, okay. Routines. So, yeah, I think we have like some downtime in the middle of the off season, or I think maybe we have some downtime right after Christmas. It's like the only time
Mhm.
we have off. And so I think we hold like a big celebration, like big North Pole wide block party post Christmas celebration.
Right. Yes, it's like the office holiday party,
Yes, yes,
metaphorically.
but it's after the holidays. We have like a crazy New Year's.
Yes. Uh, big New Year's party. Post holidays hiatus, big New Year's party.
Yeah, I think we
Excellent.
have like everyone in the community, like the day after Christmas, is just doing a lot of like napping, and it's a day of like rest and like taking care of each other and like drinking a lot of cozy drinks, and like everyone's sort of like coming down from the excitement and all of the everything getting the presents out, and then we like party really hard on New Year's, and then we go right back to work.
Yeah, so like January 1st is like maybe we have the morning off to recover and then
Yeah,
everybody
yeah,
is back in the office in the afternoon. Horrifying. I love it.
yeah.
Um excellent. Q, I have saved this question for you. If something goes wrong, what happens?
If something goes wrong, we we get together, probably those of the sort of pillars of, the traditions of the stories, and we figure out what's going on. So that's Santa, that's Jack Frost, it's me, it's Frosty, probably
Oh,
Rudolph.
Frosty.
Yeah, when he's around,
The the icons.
if we could, yeah, exactly, if we can get the hat, then we can figure it out. But yeah, no, just the sort of the elders of the Christmas tales.
Elders.
uh,
Okay. Elders.
we get together,
Okay.
we figure out what needs to be fixed, and
Yes.
then we set up a plan.
Okay. Excellent. So, next up, we are going to create our characters. So the way that this works for transparency is that they have all drawn archetype cards. And you are going to choose which archetype your character may inhabit or will inhabit in this world. So for example, I will go first. Um, I am selecting the mediator card. Um, and my description is I Factions in the isolation are often at each other's throats. You keep the peace as best you can. People talk to you about resolving conflict, and I identify with all of the aspects, at least on the surface. Um, and I think I am going to be, because I realized we talked about in session 0 what we were interested in playing, and I don't think I ever selected what I was going to be in this world. But I am going to be the deputy head elf. And my name is, why are only Pokemon names just slipping into my head
Pick a
right
Pokemon
now?
name. Let's go.
I mean,
Pokemon
here's the
elf.
thing. My first instinct was Chansey, and then my brain went Blissey. And I think that Blissey is a nickname because her name is Missy. And so people call her Blissey for reasons that I haven't quite decided yet. So I am the mediator, Blissey, the deputy head elf. Excellent. All right. Who would like to go next?
I will go if no one else wants to go
Isabel,
first.
you are the chosen one.
Go
Okay.
for it.
So we decided like Julie said, we decided our rough character, like Christmas archetype-esque character. So I wanted to play like background penguin, like you see in like the old claymation movies. So I'm playing Pennifer Eliza Sue Gwyn, or Pen E. Gwyn. I think I think she looks like she's made of clay. And I picked the sage archetype, so I will read that. You know so much of the past, so much that we're doomed to repeat. People talk to you about burning questions. And I identify with 2 of the aspects and what is my source of knowledge. So I think I identify with protecting us, like the seclusion aspect, and also the oral history. So I think Penn has been around for so long that she has like a lot of the histories like memorized, because she like lived through a lot of it. So she's not like important to any of the stories, but she has a background of most of them. So she has like a different sort of viewpoint than the characters who are like doing the things in the story. She's just like been there for it all. And I think she is just like a little old lady penguin, like a little babushka penguin.
I love this so much.
Incredible.
I love it
Incredible.
so much. I just love the idea that any like video or GIF of penguins where you see them like moving, like one in the back, you could just put like a little arrow and be like, this is Penn.
Yes, yes. In like every Christmas movie, like just cut to a montage of like a bunch of different Christmas movies and Christmas stories, and then just like in the background,
Look
like
for the
blurry,
penguin.
pixelated, like zoom in and hands. There's Penn.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
absolutely. I don't want to misspell Penn's name, so if you would like
I
to
will
add
copy
to the
it.
doc, I was like, this is very important that we get this right.
It's a very silly name.
Excellent. Who
I'll
would
put it
like
in
to
the
go
chat.
next?
I'll go next.
Go for it.
So my character's name is Cole. But most of the rest of the world knows him as Krampus. I got the celebrity aspect.
That's so perfect.
Right. Right. And then says I identify with only one of the aspects, but it made me famous. So I think we're gonna go with the magic.
Yeah. I love this.
Mm-hmm. Mhm.
Krampus the celebrity. Excellent. And Cole, are we spelling Cole Cole, or are we spelling Cole with a K? Are we spelling? How are we spelling Cole?
You can spell it like the gift that little kids get when they're
Gotcha.
bad. There is an actual, like, definitely goes with the phonetic spelling technically, but
Sure.
most people don't quite understand that, so they just go with the regular spelling.
I love it. Who would like to go next?
I can go next.
Awesome.
So my character's name is Heikki Lunta. She goes by Kiki for short. I drew the artist card. So this one says your isolation has a certain charm to it thanks to you. You keep people going when things look darkest. People talk to you about your masterpiece. And I identify with two of the aspects. So that would be 2 and 3. And then one of them is my muse, and it's 2. So all of her art and her installations have to do with access and things beyond. And she likes to play with light. So a lot of what she makes are ice prisms that cast different rainbows or colors on the ground. And her masterpiece is a sculpture of a rainbow in different colored mirrors.
Ooh.
That you can kind of see through because they're also made of ice.
That's awesome. I love that. I'm
She
also
wants,
gonna have to have you spell
yeah.
that for me in the document.
Yes, I shall do that immediately.
This is mostly for our reference, so the end of the world it is not. But excellent. And last but certainly not least, JT, whomst are you?
Me, I am a misfit toy. I am stable horse, horse who is supposed to be a rocking horse, but the rails are straight and not curved. I got the explorer archetype. We rely on you to venture beyond where the rest of us do, to push the boundaries and uncover new potential. People talk to me about the unknown. Explorer identifies with all of the aspects and knows there's undiscovered potential in one. And I think the missing ice bridge and looking for a new way back is probably the potential that they're looking for.
Mm-hmm. And ended up with perfect cards.
It's
That's
pretty great.
so funny to me. Dialect works in mysterious ways. I love that. Excellent. So now that our characters are created, we are going to move on to age 1. Dialect is divided into 3 ages plus an epilogue. So I'm going to read the intro to our age, and then we will go over how the turns work. Because we did go over this in a session 0 call, but it has been quite a minute since that call. So I think it is perfectly fair to go over it. And please feel free to ask questions at any time. So, in age 1, actually, we're gonna deal cards before we kick this off. Is everyone okay if you would like to put your card on the background? I'm gonna recall the archetype cards if you need it. Is everybody okay with that?
Sure.
Okay. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Huh?
There we go. All right. Age 1 deck.
Get it.
So we are going to take three age 1 cards each. Now, is it going to let me deal 3 cards to everyone? I doubt it so much. But let's see. Yeah, it sure isn't. Okay. So you should be able to give yourself click and then drag them to you. Oh, but I didn't.
Oh, I clicked the archetype. What? Whoops. Didn't
Oh,
mean to
let
do
me
that.
hide that deck so it'll go away. There we
Thank
go.
Yay.
Oh wait, actually, hold
you.
on,
Ooh.
because I thought mine had gone up, but it did not. That's not good.
3
So
each?
I've 3 each. Yes, if you click it and then drag it until your name is highlighted, like drag it over to your name on the bottom, it should deposit it if it's highlighted in yellow, is what I've learned. I might also be able to give them to people.
I didn't want to do that.
But then again, also maybe not. So let me know.
Oh, I
if
think
you
we're
would-
out of cards.
How is that possible? There's 22 cards.
I
in that
got
deck.
the error. I pulled 2 and I dragged them
No,
to
here's
me.
the thing. This is not your fault. It just baffles me.
Yes, yes. I was
Uh,
able to grab 2.
Yeah, I only snagged one.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do.
Oh,
because
maybe when you were trying to deal 3, it gave us 3 total possible in the deck, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna recall all of these. In player, it says already in deck unplayed 16, but it doesn't. Okay, we're not gonna. We don't have time to unpack that right now. Let me see. I'm gonna see. Yeah, I can drag them to people. So I'm gonna give cards. Oh my
Cool.
goodness. Slowly but surely. Thank you for your patience. Because there are 22 cards there, so there should
Roll
be
20
enough.
is just being a little.
This also
Okay.
happened last time, so I wonder if it is.
This would never happen in the North Pole.
This would never happen in the North Pole. You're so right. It's okay. This is just like real life when I would have to deal cards. So this is an authentic experience that
I feel
Roll20 is
immersed.
providing. It's so immersive. Much wow. Okay, everybody should have 3 cards. It says that everybody has 3 cards. So if you cannot see those cards, please do let me know. But every card has a prompt for word creation on it. The way that a turn works is the person will create a word, define that word, what it means to the isolation, which is what they refer to as the community. And then a scene will be created based on a number of characters of your choice, including presumably your own. So I can go first as an illustration. The card that I'm going to choose is, I have some really good ones. The card I'm going to choose is a resource, a vital resource for the isolation. Without it, we would truly be lost. I'm going to connect this to one of the aspects, which is another thing that we should do with our word. And the resource I'm going to choose is magic. And I wonder if the loss of the ice bridge is somehow considered to be an omen or a portent of magical trouble to come. So the word I'm going to create is, I was going to say, I don't think it gives me a part of speech, but I think we call magic joy because it's linked to like the festive spirit. And so joy is a magical thing, but it is also a finite resource, potentially. So age 1, joy, magic, which is feared to be a finite resource since this is where we all find out how bad I am at typing. Since the bridge Bridget's disappearance. So we're linking this to aspect 2, which is the connection to the outside world and the fear that the magic is diminishing. And as a scene, I am going to say that Blissy is going to talk to Stable Horse. Yeah, Stable Horse. And again, we can have, I would say, 2 to 3 people in a scene. If you would like more, you can. It just tends to get a little chaotic. And I think that Blissy approaches Stable Horse and asks if there has been any news. I'm just trying to update I'm trying to update the situation with the magic. So if you found any progress in that area, are there any big signs of impending doom or, death or destruction?
No destruction that
Well, that's good.
could be found. Smaller and smaller pockets of joy still, but I'm hoping that will lead me to something bigger, something more.
Your nose for joy, it just is so special. This is why we can't do without you. And and how are you doing? How is, how are you feeling? I know it's been a tough well, season, what with the winds and everything, but I hope you're doing well out there.
I find more hope each day. It is important to keep our heads high. We will find a way out. I think it's important to remain optimistic.
Oh, you're just such an inspiration. I was thinking that perhaps you could be the face of our new campaign. Find joy. And then, like, a picture of you. Although people might think your name is Joy, which would be confusing.
There may be some work to be done on the wording, but I would be happy to come down sometime and help as needed.
Wonderful. I'm thinking of posters and, maybe some kind of commemorative pin. But you know what? I'm just gonna, pencil you in for next week. You can come talk to marketing. Janice is a little busy, what with the things are getting a little chaotic over there right now because of the push for um well, post holidays, things tend to get a little weird. Um Personally, I think that everybody over there indulged themselves a little too much on New Year's Eve. But anyway, that's not the point. I'm just talking. I'm talking and talking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So can I do anything for you? Is there anything that you need for your expeditions?
You know what? I had been running out of a few different food items. If the kitchen could be most accommodating when I come by.
Oh, you can have whatever you need. Of course. Yes, yes, yes. And I think she bustles herself off to make you like a snack basket, which is not relevant to what you actually need, but it is a very nice snack basket. Um, and I think we'll leave that scene there. And we will move to our next word. I will take volunteers if anybody feels ready to create their word.
Sure.
Go for it, Q.
All right, so just pick one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The future. uh, how we refer to what is yet to come and what it means to us.
Mm-hmm.
This may be an important event in the future or the future as a broad concept. Okay. So I think pen for sure. And yeah, sure, Kiki. It says we all have different visions.
Okay. So what is the word that you're creating to describe, I guess, any or all of these visions of the future?
Hmm. The visions. I think it's change.
Change. Okay. Change of the future. Okay. Excellent. All right. So we're having Pen, Kiki, and Cole.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And where is this scene taking place? Where's this conversation taking place?
I think it'll be after a Christmas
Post
or
Christmas. Okay.
post. Well, actually, no, it'll have to be before because
Okay.
the bridge is gone.
The bridge is gone.
Yeah, the bridge is gone. So I think it's one of those. It's one of those days where work's been particularly hard, and we're getting closer and closer to when it's time to gear up and get ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And we still don't have a way to get to Earth. Cole, for his part, has been mostly just pestering the twins about the naughty and nice list, just keeping updated on those, so he knows who he needs to speak to,
Mm-hmm.
who he needs to go visit when the time is right. But I think right now he's sort of overlooking the workshop. Just has Kiki and there beside him. Do you think we'll actually figure it out?
Oh, yes. Don't you worry, Cole. And you can tell from the way that Pen says your name that she knows she's spelling it the correct way.
Uh-huh.
Don't you worry, Cole. I mean, we've been through worse. I think these young folks will figure it out.
I don't know that. I don't know that losing the bridge is. I don't think there's anything worse than that, really.
Well, you would be surprised at things I've seen. And then she just gets like a far off look in her eyes.
No one knows what change holds. It's begun, but we never know what's coming. It could be something good.
I'm not saying we don't do anything about it, but
Obviously.
I understand your concern. Many children you need to throw in that basket.
Right. And
And
if
she pulls out a pipe and starts smoking on above the toy factory floor.
Kiki's painting something. She's painting like a train set, and the colors are not. They just aren't. They're like, you look at them and you're like, this, she doesn't know what a train is, does she? But it doesn't stop her. She's gonna use every single color she can.
Sure. I don't know. It feels like it's gonna be too easy to just give it up this year, right?
Give what up?
Going over. There's no bridge.
Oh.
So we can't do it. And
Well, not with that attitude, we can't.
it's August.
She paints the man inside chartreuse.
It's August.
Yes, I know what month it is, dear.
Sure. And so that means you also know how close we are to December.
We have plenty of time. Paint
We
flies
don't, but
off of her hands.
it'll still be fine.
He's just gonna dodge the paintbrush.
That's quite an interesting interpretation of a train, dear.
Is that what that is?
I think so.
I love it. And
You know
whoever's
what?
going to get it will love it too.
Sure. Listen, I'm just concerned. If this doesn't happen this year, if Santa doesn't show up for all the good little boys and girls, I just feel like they're going to blame me for it.
Well, Cole, they always blame you for it. And she
Yeah.
sort of pats you with a little wing.
Yeah, well, that's
He's
my
like, yeah,
point.
that's true.
That's my point.
We will sort it out. Maybe we need to call a conclave of the elders before too soon. Also, I don't know, I think that stable horse, it's got potential.
And no one else is creeped out by that stable horse.
Oh, certainly. He's quite unsettling. Why
Okay.
isn't he rocking?
Right.
I like his weird lack of color.
Yes, it's quite odd. He's like a flat illustration in a
And-
three-dimensional world. It's very unnerving. But I think it's he's like a magnet for joy. It's like
Yeah.
he's so stable, so solid,
Yeah,
and joy
they're-
just sort of like follows him, you know?
Yeah,
Absorbs
they're-
into him.
They're fine. They're fine, I guess.
Yes, they manage. I suppose.
Okay.
I think change is following that one around. I would keep an eye on them. But yes, Cole, I think it is wise to be proactive. Perhaps it is time to call together the
Just
elders.
A meeting, huh?
I just hope that the old man will listen.
Well, if anyone can make him listen, it's you, the old goat. And she sort of pats her little goat legs.
And I think that is an extremely wholesome end to that scene. Lovely. I just love the vision of like Krampus, who is probably what, like 8-10 times the size of Pen.
Oh yeah,
Just
I think I'm patting your knee because I'm knee height.
Right.
Just condescendingly with a flipper, just like they're
Yeah.
there. Amazing. Excellent. So we have our second word. I will say, as this is going, I'm going to be giving people a age 2 card, which will be what that plus your remaining age 1 cards are going to be what you choose to create in the next age. So for example, Q, I'm going to give you an age 2 card now, so you should have 3 cards total to choose from for the next age.
Gotcha.
And who would like to go next and create their age 1 word?
I can go next.
I feel like
Um.
Corset, you are the bravest because it's always you when I'm like, who's going next? And you're like,
I'll just
So
do it.
brave.
So brave. And we're only picking one out of the three, correct? Or are we
One out of the three.
Okay,
Yes. You
all
will
right.
keep the other two so you
Okay.
can use it later.
I'm selecting death.
As you
Let's
do.
go.
Let's go, right? So death, our language for ultimate loss, letting go. I've created the word night gone. So when someone passes away, they are night gone.
I'm sorry. It is very serious, but I have to share that Google Docs keeps auto-correcting it to nightgown, which makes it less scary.
You're wearing a nightgown. That guy is totally nightgowned.
All right.
There we go.
And which aspect does that connect to mostly?
I'm going to say one because of the keeping community.
Mm-hmm.
And it's when rituals like birth, death, marriage, and things, those are very culturally insular and have different significant meanings for different communities. So
Yeah.
for us in particular, this is unique to just us and keeping our community and protecting our ritual with Night God.
Yeah, for sure. And who would you like in a scene about this word?
I feel like it's very stable horse coded. I don't know what gave me that feeling. Just that.
So valid.
Yes.
So where is the scene taking place?
Where does stable horse hang out? In just the stable, or
I think there's probably like a little shack that they've co-opted for supplies and just a place for them to sort of be.
okay. So Kiki's gonna be there trying to in the middle of convincing stable horse that the shack is just giving Night Gone with its color palette. And that's how she enters. she opens the door and she goes, "Stable horse, the shack. It's giving me Night Gone. How are we going to solve this problem?"
Well, it does lend function over form a bit. I admit it's a bit run down, but it performs its job amicably as far as keeping my stuff inside.
Is he's a horse?
He's a rocking horse.
He's a rocking horse.
He's a rocking horse that doesn't rock with
Doesn't
like
rock.
a flat base.
Oh, okay.
Instead of the curved rails to rock on, it's just two straight boards.
So he's literally a stable horse. Got it.
Yes. Yeah.
I love it.
That's the genius.
She holds his wooden face in her hands and goes, "Let me bring light to you. Let me do it."
There's a window. It's got the one window right there.
Wait. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a hole. I think. She goes up to it and like proceeds to tap, and ice chips away under her fingers. She goes, "I'm so sorry. This is a hole."
Well, it is now that you've broken the ice.
It was a window before.
If it would make you feel better about the state of my humble little storage shed, we could paint it. We could get some old toy paint and throw a fresh coat on it. That would probably
Yes.
help.
Yes. Yes. We have to. I come in here and it reminds me of when my predecessor went night gone. It's very sad. And so I don't want that to be you.
Oh, like I said, I do not find it to be horribly sad, but if it upsets you to look at, we'll paint it.
But
We'll
do
get a
you
fresh.
now?
Pardon?
Do you now find it sad? Now that you know.
It saddens me to know that it reminds you of Night Gone.
She pets his head. I'm not the only
Okay.
one. I'm not the only one.
Well, then I think a fresh coat of paint would probably,
Excellent!
fix it right up. Let's.
She drags in a drop cloth just full of cans of paint. They all spill over.
Just
And
had
she
those
goes,
ready, did you?
Yep. And anyway, what colors would you like? I have all of them. Oh dear. Well, I guess we'll start painting now.
North Pole, we could do, let's do like a red and white. Stripe
Okay.
it.
She picks green and she picks pink. And she goes, these are good.
Those are
Excellent
perfect.
choice.
I think just them nodding, right, as the perfect is a lovely button on that scene. I have to imagine that progressively all of the buildings have just become bizarre colors over the years. I love the agenda here. Excellent. So, Corset, I'm going to deal you an H2 card. JT or Isabel, who would like to go next?
I don't mind going unless you've got an idea off the top of your head, JT.
I'm still working through it.
Okay, cool. I don't know what I'm doing either, but I don't mind going.
Listen, nobody has any idea what they're doing. That's the magic of this game.
We figure it out in the moment. It is what it is.
It's also the joy of this game.
Oh, let's go. Okay, I'm gonna pick this one because I think we need a verb in our lexicon. We have a bunch of nouns right now, so
Yeah.
I'm picking work. Also, this makes sense for Penn. The isolation is no stranger to work and toil, our daily grind and duty. This is how we refer to that which must be done. The other prompt is the work we must do and the toll it takes. I think the work we can call I think maybe tinkering would be a good verb for us, and I think it does refer to like the invention and the creation of toys, but I think it also is sort of a general catch-all for fine-tuning the process of like making Christmas magic happen. So like people will use tinkering in like a specific way to be like talking about toys in general, but you might also say tinkering in terms of like tinkering with the naughty and nice list, or tinkering with basically just sort of like a catch-all for the preparation for Christmas. And I think Penn would probably be discussing this with, actually, I think Penn would be forcing both Cole and Blissey to take a break I think
Mm.
I think that she is like notices that those two, like, I think Blissey as the mediator with such a tough year of like not having the bridge down, it has been like maybe running herself a little ragged, trying to like keep the peace because people are anxious. And then I think also Cole is getting the blame for a lot of things unfairly, as usual. And so I think they're in Penn's like igloo, which is a little bit isolated, um, even from like the other penguins, just because she's seen so many of her penguins night gone, so that like it she doesn't know, like a lot of the generation is like younger, so she like takes care of her community, but like the people in her age are kind of mostly gone. And so I think she's invited you over, and she is in the process of like cooking, and there's already a bunch of food in front of you, and tea and hot cocoa and cookies, and she's like still busying herself making more things and that's where we're at. I think she's just like running around the kitchen. Oh, I think
Okay.
you're muted.
How big? Yeah, I realized that. How big is the igloo?
Oh, it's so cramped.
Got it.
Our
Got it.
Krampus is very cramped. I think it is big enough that you can like get through the door, but it's very much Gandalf in a Hobbit hole situation.
Gotcha. Okay.
And
Cool.
Blissey just sitting next to you at like 1/10 of your size, just looking like a miniature.
I think he keeps looking at the door. Just like very much so, like I could just go.
Mm,
You should have another cookie.
do not get up, Cole.
I'm
I see you looking. Her back is fully turned.
so weird how you do that. I'm good on cookies. Thanks.
These Christmas cookies really are excellent, although I really should be getting back to the import lists. We do need our
Eat
new
your soup,
supplies.
dear.
If I'm staying, you're staying.
All right. Well, are you sure? Because I really could get those itemized invoices done
Yeah, you're
before.
good. Yeah. And I could be, doing the work that I was doing. But apparently we're both supposed to be taking a break. So, yeah.
Well, yes. I mean, it's just the tinkering is never done, you know? The tinkering and the tinkering and the tinkering. And
Tinker away. But apparently we're supposed to stop at some point.
I think at this, Penn turns around and has like a tray of food in each flipper and also on her head. And she says, let us, okay, all right, you stubborn young children. Krampus is also like so old. So,
Mm-hmm.
so I think Penn is the only one who like calls him young. Okay. This young man needs to stretch his legs, so let's take this to the patio. And she will like bring all the food out onto like a little like ice patio around her like igloo, and sets up. It's like setting up the food out there as she's talking to you. Yes. The tinkering is never done. We know this. I know this. And because the tinkering is never done, if you do not take a break, you will burn yourself out and you will be useless in December. So eat. You are too skinny. You need more food.
Just
She like shoves like another meal in your direction.
I'm not
I think
supposed to be round like him. You know that, right?
Yes, but since when do you care about what you're supposed to be, huh? Live a little. She pours some brandy into your tea.
At that he will begrudgingly start to eat. Call him out like that. That's rude.
I think Lissy has this like taken the path of least resistance and is just like cramming food in her mouth, just like in the hopes that she will reach the magical point that there is enough that has been consumed that she will be allowed to go back to work.
Blissy,
Yeah,
how are you doing, dear?
I'm good.
Yes, you're good.
Sorry, I mean I'm well.
Dear, I was not correcting your grammar. I don't care about that.
Oh.
I'm
Yeah, it's stressful because of the tinkering and because of the, things that have been going wrong, and she very deliberately does not look at Krampus. Cole. Things that have been going wrong, supply line issues, nobody's fault, but just, it's difficult being cut off from our usual, Stable Horse has been doing a great job getting alternatives, but the shortages are a problem.
Yes. I'm aware of the pressure you're under, and I want you to know you can always come to me if you need anything. Me or Cole. We both have been around for a while, and we know both sides of these things.
I'm over 200 years old, right?
Yes, dear, I know this.
Just
a wee chick.
which
Keep
means you're
up.
still young.
200.
Right.
Dear.
I could blink and miss 200.
I'm not diminishing your work, dear, your tinkering.
Oh, I wasn't offended. I just, you caught, like, I'm grown up.
She still calls me a kid.
Well, yes.
That's true. Well, I guess, it's the Christmas spirit keeps us all young, right?
Not me.
Oh.
Force yourself some more brandy.
To be fair, though, you've also been an old woman your whole life.
Oh, that's not true. The first few Christmases, I wasn't.
Would you mean like the first two?
Oh, certainly not. Maybe the first 50. I don't know. Something around there. I don't quite remember. It's a bit fuzzy. But
maybe that's because of the brandy.
It's absolutely because of the brandy.
I think that's fine. I don't think the brandy has anything to do with it. Pulls out her pipe, starts smoking again. The real reason she took everything outside.
Yeah, she's like, we can smoke here. I think that's a great place to end it, with just the three of us essentially sitting on the porch, being plied with food and brandy. Lovely. And I'm going to deal you an H2 card, Isabel.
I just feel like every grandmother uses food to show their love.
No, it's for sure a love language. Last but certainly not least, JT.
What up? I thought of one finally. I'm going to use unit of time. An important unit of time in the isolation tied to our routines, work environment, or whatever defines the rhythm of our days. The word I am using, and I'm connecting it to one as well, keeping community. Sort of thought of like an all-purpose word, like when people say the other day and they mean, they could mean anything. A jingle.
A jingle. That's so cute.
Could be something immediate, could be something long before or after.
It's like a while, right? Like
a while, or a jiffy, or
in a jingle.
Jiffy,
very
is cute.
contextual word.
Been a hot jingle.
It's been a hot jingle.
Oh, just a jingle ago.
Just
So
That's
does that,
adorable.
so does that mean jangle is another term?
I like that.
I think I
Well,
do think that
Jingle is
follows.
longer.
It's interesting that you say that because after this age, I will introduce a variant role because it
Dun,
is
dun,
that is
dun.
in the game. And you can also use your build a word to modify an existing word or add a variant of it. So JT, who would you like in a scene to explore the jingles?
That is an outstanding question. I can't say everyone, right? Was that?
Well, you
I
could.
mean, you
Disallowed.
can. There's just going to be a relative level of chaos, which is fine.
That,
So live your
that does appeal to me a
dreams.
lot.
Live your chaotic life.
Hi, come here.
Mew mew.
Is Tato?
It's Tato.
His baby.
Wait,
Baby.
my
He's
baby's
very
also here.
concerned about the
Reveal your
construction.
cats to us.
Come here,
Here's a
Dummy.
baby.
Hello.
dummy.
Okay.
Come on.
Him is a big potato. So
He'll come up here when he's
Potato.
ready. I know previously there had been a meeting mentioned. So I was thinking that could be
That could be the reason.
set up. Also, because
Yeah.
I feel bad picking
Sure.
favorites.
sure.
I would imagine Stable Horse had probably called the meeting to bring some capacity of updates as requested by Blissey, as well as to just give everyone blanket like, this is what I have found. This is how long I expect to need to continue. But it really is just a simple couple of jingles more before hitting this pocket of joy I've been hunting down. I figured you all would want to update your people, your teams, wherever you hang out or whatever roles you play.
Absolutely. I'm going to be taking notes on the location and any dangers you find along the way. Do you think
Yes,
that
sir.
there's kind of a timeline that we can expect? You know, how many jingles? What precise number?
If
Or
I keep pace and I really make an expedition out of it, yeah, you could probably look at 3-4 jingles before I'm able to return with grander news than I'm on to something.
Is there a way we can help?
I returned for supplies, any spare food, any tools you may not need or foresee needing could be extraordinarily helpful. I did denote that I was coming upon either a ridge or chasm unknown at this juncture. So climbing equipment will be paramount either way.
I think I can get you more. Well, perhaps we can find you some way to create a harness for climbing that would be more conducive and less uncomfortable for your frame. Um, it might take a couple of jingles of development, but
Well, all things considered, comfort is a deep and far afterthought when it comes to ushering in a solution for our collective issue.
well, safety is important. I mean, we don't
Oh
don't
no,
want
by all
you to be
means.
night gone in one of these escapades.
I would encourage you to take the time you need for safety testing and that sort of thing. I do not plan to embark for some few jingles regardless.
Blissey
I can
is taking
tinker on
notes.
that. I can tinker on that. I can design something. It'll be really nice looking too. Just give me a few jingles and I'll have something perfect for you.
Outstanding. I just wanted to bring a pillar of hope to your attention for the well, it is cutting close a bit time-wise, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
We have the utmost faith in you, Stable Horse. I'm quite proud of the work you've done this year. For one horse all on your own, it's quite impressive the progress you've made in mapping the edges of the realm. I remember a time when the bridge was still young and fragile, and I do hope you'll come to me if you have any questions about
Of course, that may
where to
be.
find joy, or if you have any doubts, you can always come to me. I also think, Blissey, perhaps we can get together pull aside a team of elves from tinkering to assist our young stable horse and Kiki here on their project. I think it would behoove us to provide some resources to this project now that we have some direction.
Oh, yes, I know just the people. Yes, I do think that we can get something definitely going very quickly.
Yes, I do want to emphasize safety. I agree with you on that front, dear, but yes, perhaps more hands for more tinkling. We can get it done in fewer jingles.
Yes, of course. We will speed up the timeline as much as we can. You know, the urgency, and I think that whenever she talks about, you know, the urgency and time, she talks a little faster. And I think that we can get this going immediately, and we'll be you know what? I'll set up meetings today. I'll set up meetings right now, and we can get this going
Good.
today.
And Cole, you have some minions, I believe, imps who could be spared for the project.
Sure.
You
I can give about
can
6 to 8.
Yes, and I trust Blissey that you will be able to keep the peace between the elves and the imps.
Well, certainly, I will do my best to create a harmonious and synergetic atmosphere. I've been reading a book on leadership.
A what
And
now?
I mean, I say a book. That's what Henry likes to call
No.
it. He's
The other
It's
strange
the word.
synergonious. What?
well,
What's that, dear?
Sigurgist. It sounded like sigurgist.
Sigilist?
A
yeah,
sigil?
it's like when you take a symbol and you like make it part of you, and then everything is in tune with the symbol. I don't know.
Yes.
I'm not clear on the details yet, but it seems like a very important word.
Yes, work with Kiki on that. She's quite good with drawing things.
That's true. That's so true.
And dear, don't, it's okay. They don't have to be harmonious. Just make sure they don't kill each other.
I'll help.
Well, yes. It's important to have goals.
This has turned into quite the fledgling project, hasn't it?
It has.
I have the utmost faith in you to handle this, stable horse.
Your faith is
Uh,
appreciated. I must say, though, it has been rather fun to see what the rest of the realm has to offer. There's a lot of native wildlife we just don't think about.
Oh,
Oh,
perhaps
yes.
Kiki could make kind of, if you describe them to her, perhaps that Kiki could make some kind of, you know, journal or, you know, song. Well, I keep coming back to the idea of a song. I feel like if we can capture the spirit of the colors, maybe, then perhaps there could be some kind of, you know, story to tell. It could be an autobiography.
I think a book of the landscape and of the various colors and animals and flora that you find out there could be very fun, very nice.
The
For
ode
us.
of
I
Stable
can draw
Horse.
pictures. I can draw
Stable Horse the
pictures.
Explorer.
I'll use all the colors. It'll be great.
Well, good. So multifaceted expedition. Get more stuff written down about where we live, and also find the pocket of joy big enough to get us back to Earth.
I think this is a great idea. And I think that is where we close on the meeting. Everyone just kind of taking a moment and being like, excellent. That is the end of age 1. Now
We're so stressed in this North Pole.
I know.
we are so stressed. This
So
is a
much
very
going on.
high. This is why I introduced synergy.
High
I'm really
stakes.
hoping it'll turn us around. So
The burnout's real.
we are roughly halfway through our time, which means that this is probably a great time to take a quick break. We are going to take, I'm going to say 10, unless anyone has any particular feelings either way about that. God, are you there? It's me, Jilly. Great. So we are going to take 10 minutes and we will be right back. Please feel free to donate. Feel free to check out our wonderful cause that we are gathering money for today. It is super important. And all of this Haz-Mas spirit is towards the end of creating a better world, which incidentally we are trying to do in game as well. So we will see you in 10. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Age 2 of Talking in a Winter Wonderland. We are excited to be here. Now, before we proceeded to Age 2 and the exciting things that we can do with words in this round, I must read. We're vibing. Music, very important. We love some Sam Smith. So, in entering Age 2, an event to foreshadow the end of the isolation. It finds its way into all conversation and is impossible to ignore. A new arrival. We found it stranded and alone. We've only managed crude communication, but it sounds they have strong intentions. Why are they a fundamental risk to our happy home? And as we answer this question, it is going to alter one of the aspects of our isolation. So, does anybody have any ideas about what we find?
Actual human.
An actual human.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
fun.
Is
I was
this
gonna
the
say
beginning
maybe
of
someone
Elf?
from
Is
another
this where
holiday,
this
but I
is
like just real life human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like,
Okay.
how did you get here?
Yeah. I also really like it says it's hard to communicate with them, right?
Mhm.
I really like the idea that we all like sound to a human like we're speaking different languages,
Mhm.
but to each other we can understand each other.
Mhm.
So I think that Penny would just appear silent,
Mhm. Mhm.
I love that.
and Cole would maybe have like a terrifying, like demonic sounding like
Correct.
voice.
Yeah, just like deeply resonant. There's that growl
Yeah.
always there. It's the two-tone from time to time.
So, what? So, I have some thoughts about what aspect this changes, right, or adapts. So maybe keeping the community secret and secluded.
Mhm.
Protecting the presence. So it's possible that this is seen as like a danger. It's possible that some people are like, well, they're not so bad. Look at this one. This one's fine.
Mhm.
So that's my thought for which of the aspects it will
Yeah, that seems like the
change.
obvious
Yeah.
choice.
I think it could potentially also influence the ice bridge being gone because we don't know how they got here. But
True.
I think the most direct interaction. That it's changing right now is the seclusion, because it's a new being in our
Right.
space.
And suddenly we're not alone.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I'm going to go over the things you can do in this round. I put my book down. Oh, it's under my tray table. Okay. I was like, it's gone forever. So you can build a word. You can also choose when you're building a word to repurpose a word, combine words, create an acronym, incorporate a sound, mess words up, convert them, like any of these things. You can change an existing word or adapt it, basically. Another option that you have, which technically is an option for the whole game, but I find it best to establish things in round one first, is you can discard a card from your hand in exchange for creating a variant of an existing word. So if you want to create a new relationship to joy, or a new word for death, right? A variant of it, then you can do that in exchange for discarding a card. That is not part of your turn. If you use a variant, you can do that at any time.
Okay.
So you can be like, hey, I want to adapt this word. But the build a word, you also have the option to change existing words. Which I get is a lot to throw at you. But if you have questions, let me know. Does anybody want to start off H2 with a word? Does anybody have a thought? I will go first if nobody else wants to.
I have a thing, but like, does it have to be connected to this new person?
I mean, it has to connect to one of the aspects. It's just your whatever your card says, right?
Okay. Cool. So my card is antonym. So in defining something, we must also consider. We also must consider its opposite. Define a word opposite to one already defined.
Awesome. What are you creating an antonym for?
God, so I did this. I chose this, and like with one in mind. And then I thought of another one that could also be good.
It's just both.
It's tempting.
Okay.
Right?
So the one that made me think of it first was Night Thought. You do need to have the opposite of death, which would be life. However, when I put it up on the board, my brain then went to joy, having the opposite of magic, which is potentially an issue that's coming up since we are finding less and less of it. So I think I kind of want to go with that.
I mean, maybe this is somewhat cheating, but also YOLO. You could have it sort of come to me in both, right? Like, if death is connected in people's minds to the death of magic, right? Or the absence of magic.
I think, well, if we were to do the opposite of Night Gone, it would have to be a positive one, right?
That's true. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. My brain did not process that correctly.
It is all good. I think for the opposite of joy, it should be despair.
Despair.
So perfect that you pulled that card also with your character. Yep. I love this.
Yeah.
The cards are with it today. Like,
the cards do not lie.
So I think it'll be. I feel like it's got to be Stable Horse.
It's got to be.
Yeah, I think it's me and it's Cole and Stable Horse. And I think like with the lack of joy around, and with Cole being so close to sort of the being so tied to the magic, to the joy, and it being in shorter and shorter supply, and him running himself ragged. I think Cole will come to Stable Horse in one of their times where they're back in their shack, and I think they are sort of. It's not like they're crying, but it sort of feels like their essence is leaking as Cole comes in, looking a little worse for wear. Has it been enough, Jingles?
I'm not entirely sure what you're getting at. Are you okay? Do you want tea?
I don't
Coffee?
need any more tea. I need joy, which is what you were supposed to be finding.
Still finding.
Haven't found.
There are little pockets everywhere, but I doubt that they would be enough to sate whatever you're after.
I'm looking for being alive.
I understand. The expedition did not yield everything that I had hoped, but there is some hope there. Our little friend got here somehow, right?
Somehow.
Earth doesn't have joy. Not in the same sense that we do, so...
Not in a long time, no.
So, if we can figure out how or where this one came from, there might be enough joy there for you.
Next time, I'm going with you.
Perfectly fine. Always happy to have company. In the meantime, on our way, I can point out the little pockets to you, the bits of joy that are left over from the bridge.
Fine. And I think they will stumble off to go and take a well-needed rest.
I was muted. Lovely. So, well, existential dread, but lovely. So Stable Horse is left in his very well decorated. I'm sorry. What are Stable Horse's pronouns?
Anything. Take your pick.
Okay.
They're a horse and a toy.
They're just vibing. Is left in the very
Stable
well
Horse so me
decorated
for
shack,
real.
right? A relatable horse, if I've ever seen one. Excellent. So, that establishes our antonym to joy. Is there someone who would like to go next?
I have a concept. I have one.
I love it
That might work.
already.
Okay. Mine just says create a word. Here, I'll play it.
Sure. That's a freebie.
Yeah, so it says pair with any aspect and create a word for an important concept linked to that aspect. Explain why it's special. Does it come from another language? Was it from a marking somewhere? Was its origin lost to time? And it's a surprise for some. And I think that the word is like a penguin chirp. I think it's like a "Wah," which like which maybe we couldn't like identify before the human came because
Mm.
we understood each other so easily. But with the human there, we've had to work on translating each of us. And that has led to like sort of like fine tuning concepts that we didn't have before. And I want this chirp to mean balance. And I think specifically like the balance between joy and despair. And I think I like the concept of um, like both being necessary for joy to work
Mhm.
and and the idea that like if that if that is like out of balance, then um like bad things happen, like the ice bridge disappearing,
Okay.
or like things happening. Joy becomes like unstable, or harder to find.
Lack of balance makes joy unstable or harder to find. And I'm sorry, repeat the word for me. I got distracted by your definition.
Mwah.
Right. That's why I was like, how do I spell? This is why I didn't type it when it was happening. I was like,
Yeah,
how
I
are
think
we
you can
spelling?
just type it however you want, or just
Yeah,
put
I love
a
this.
penguin chirp.
Uh,
Insert penguin noises here.
And
insert
penguin noise
penguin noises
here.
here. I'm also going to go,
Yeah.
even though that is not technically accurate. Okay.
Yeah, and
I
I
love
like the
that.
idea that it's one of those words that can't really fully be written down because like and
Yeah.
I think it's connected to either the I think it's definitely connected to the ice bridge, but also could be connected to like the oral history of like because it can't
Yeah.
really be pinned down into like a written form.
I
Um
think for me, like I think that it's interesting the idea that there are certain words and concepts that are ephemeral because they cannot be written down, right? They can be passed along, but those by its nature will be changed, right?
yeah.
So like the next generation of penguins may make it a slightly different sound than this generation does. I think that's very cool.
Yeah.
Whomst would you like?
Yeah, so I think for this scene I think maybe Kiki in terms of like helping like spread understanding and like translating um between the various like peoples and the human potentially like using visual art to help facilitate like the language gap
Hmm.
um and maybe I keep picking coal, but I feel like also coal is like really relevant to like this
Cole
concept.
is booked and busy, and we love that.
Yeah. I feel like coal is like because the idea I got for this word was like coal has sort of been like it is like the antonym of Christmas and like has is like most influenced by the concept of despair and is like unfairly blamed for things. But I think that like Penn recognizes that that is not necessarily a bad thing, that it is just like part of like the natural order of how the realm needs to be. Um, and that maybe like the abundance of despair and the lack of joy is probably like harming Cole more than it is harming like other people.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so I think we are maybe we're in like wherever Kiki's home is, maybe Kiki has invited us to their like studio or something to like discuss how to um like translate the concept of I think maybe we're just discussing translation, and the concept of "mrah" is brought up
Mhm.
because it's like become something that's like relevant to the missing
Because
So
it's
language.
cute
one
every
word.
time you do it.
It's one word that encompasses an entire concept. It's one of those words, making it difficult.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So her studio looks like um, a gingerbread house designed by Willy Wonka,
Amazing.
and it's got patterns that really don't go, as if she'd ever care, and colors that really don't go, also as if she'd ever care. Um, but it's whimsical and fun and delightful. Um, and her hair is similar to the house. It is whimsical and full of color. Um, and she has you both over for tea. The tea doesn't look suspect. I feel like I should add that. It looks like normal tea that you would enjoy to drink. I can't speak for the cookies though. Those are
It's
could
a
be
riot
paint,
of
could be
colors.
food. Yes. It's very like on acid sort of environment. And but she doesn't look like an elf or anything like that. She looks like a human, aside from her hair, etc.
Yeah, I think we're gonna look at Penny and see if she eats the cookies.
Um, Pen brings out a hip flask of brandy, pours a little bit in her tea, and then
On brand.
looks over the cookies with like a sort of suspicious gaze, looks up at Kiki, looks down at the cookies, and takes one and eats it, and has like a total poker face, and then puts it down.
It's surprisingly delicious.
Yeah. But is trying not to show anything because she wants to kind of mess with Cole a little bit.
As one does. Well, friends, welcome to my home. I hope you like the cookies. The tea is oolong.
Yes, thank you, dear, for agreeing to meet. I appreciate all the tinkering you've been doing with our unexpected guest, and I've been coming up against a bit of a wall with trying to explain this concept and answer their many questions and get to the bottom of how they've arrived here. So I think, your tinkering has been invaluable to us, and I appreciate you hosting us here.
I mean, I could always just ask.
I think you'll scare them.
I think I would love to see that, actually.
You know what, Kiki? You're right.
No, 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 no. I think you're on to something, Cole.
We could go
I mean,
together.
yes. I mean, honestly, the reason I asked both of you to be a part of this is because the two of you sort of encompass the concept of.
I feel like
Like-
we knew. I feel like we knew what that word meant, and then they showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, well, I think they showed up because of a sort of if you would, sort of an anti-moi, I think it's all
Mratless.
connected.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want them to be mratless.
Yes, yes. So I think we need both of you here. I think perhaps on Earth there is Ra is out of order. It is out of place. It is out of jingle. I don't know. but I
Mhm.
think we need both joy and despair working together here. And
I don't
I'm
know
I,
not.
if do they
I'm not
have
fully
joy
aware.
there? It's
well,
gone,
certainly,
right?
Not like they used to.
Hmm.
yes, has become our guest. I cannot understand their name as of yet. It sounds like, I don't know, screaming or something. It's quite odd, like a
Mm.
mewling little chick. But they feel more like despair to me than joy, but I do think that they're capable of it. So far, I think Blissey has been doing most of the talking. It seems to be able to understand the elves a bit more uh, than than the rest of us.
Well, we'll do what we can.
Yes.
Another
How are you
cookie?
both holding up? I know it's getting down to the wire here.
I'm tired.
I've been using gray in a lot of my stuff lately.
Hmm. You care to share your work, dear?
She holds up it looks like a mountain. It's in dark gray, and then it has snow falling on the top. White. It's a grayscale picture. It's nothing like you've ever seen her do before.
Not even. Not even the sky is blue.
Nope. It's also gray.
Why are you whispering it?
I don't like it, but I had to. Something told me. Maybe it's because of the human thing, person.
Or maybe because we're running out of joy. There's only despair.
I don't like that thought.
Well,
I'm putting this away. She throws it behind her, crashing into an easel.
okay.
I, Kiki,
This is your spot. This is your place. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
I just, I know you don't like the concept of despair. I know we're all burdened by the overabundance of it, but it is part of what makes joy not possible, but it is a part of joy. It is the other side of it. It is the shadow that it casts. It is inescapable. We cannot simply hide it away. I think we need to face it. I think there is a reason why you are drawn to it lately. You are quite the source of light and joy in our little community. Your colorful, and she sort of gestures to the cookies, spunk you bring to everything.
Well,
So
I
I don't.
expect you to be comfortable with it. You're always dressed in gray. All the
um,
time.
Well, black and white.
Yeah, that
Mwah.
too.
Hmm.
Maybe talking to them will help us figure out what's going on with the joy.
Yes, I think Cole here, you've been drawn to the joy more than usual. You've been going with Stable Horse on her expeditions. And I think Kiki here, you've been confronted by despair more than we've seen in our age. And I think there's something to this. I think we need to listen to these instincts and perhaps together we can figure it out, find the joy again.
And explain ramp.
Yes, yes. I think there's something to this painting, but perhaps working together with Cole here, you can find some mwah. in your palette.
Say black and white again, Heikki.
Black and white? Oh, you mean gray.
Say Mra again, Penny. It kind of sounds the same to me.
Hmm. She strokes her non-existent beard.
It's just leaving a beard of
Just
paint
Paint,
on your
yeah.
face
Yeah, just
because
like
of the paint on your hands.
streaks of face. Yes.
I actually really like that image of you all just thinking about that and reflecting on it as like the closing of the scene.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a really powerful image. Excellent. So we have despair, the opposite of joy. We have which is the disturbance in balance, which makes joy unstable or hard to find. Would anybody like to add our third age 2 word? I can go next. So I am going to play the expletive card.
That's so fun.
Hooray.
Our expletive of choice, a word said in fury or frustration. Some may find it distasteful. So here's my immediate thought was that some of us have been hanging out with the human, and so we have interpreted an expletive from the human that we have adopted as our own. And I think that it's sheep is what we have come to. So I think an exploration, an exclamation of sheep is something born out of extreme frustration. Um, uh, and I think this connects obviously to our newly modified aspect 1, which is the solitude and isolation, right? We're kind of adopting parts of the languages that we hear. Sorry, I'm typing with one finger while I'm holding a page in a book in another, and it's just a whole thing. Frustration. I'm good at spelling, everybody. Hello. And I think that for this scene, I think it's stable horse, and you are maybe coming or going from an expedition, and you just see Blissy with like a whole binder of papers that have been spread everywhere across the snow. And she's just going, sheep, 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 and is trying to gather them all up. Sheep.
Strong language. Is everything all right?
I'm sorry. No offense meant. These were very important papers. I was actually going to bring them over and show you. We've collated the data from your last few expeditions, and we believe that you're right about the pocket of joy that you thought you detected. But well, it's all blurry now. Sheep.
Well, that's no matter. A little wet, runny ink never stopped me before. If I showed you a map, could you perhaps point to roughly where you believe it to be?
Probably. I spent a long time on these, so I did spend a long time looking at the coordinates. Um, it's just I went to the effort of printing out all this sheep and paper, and now it's just.
We can always get more paper, more ink. It's really no waste. The only thing we're short on at the moment seems to be joy, and apparently also better swears.
And jingle.
And jingle, we're running out of that quite rapidly, but if if you do, in fact, remember roughly where it is, then I can take an expedition out. Maybe we bring the human and see if it looks familiar, and then from there we can go. I have a few theories I've been willing to test out.
Well, the astronomer elves also noted something in that direction. So perhaps you can investigate that while you're there. Here, I'll let's go. Well, take me to the map and I'll show you. And unless you have anything to add, I think the scene ends with us migrating over to your maps. Just it's very important to establish sheep as a swear word in this universe.
Oh, so important. Excellent. Yes.
I'm here for
The most important.
crucial moments. I am also doling out age 3 cards to the people who have established a word in this age already. So that's a thing that is coming. Who would like to go next?
I can go next.
Go for it.
This is an interesting card. I have Evolve, which it's an action. As a pressure builds, we change in ways big and small. As we change, so does our language. Connection on an aspect in the current age and choose a word from a previous age. So move the word to the new aspect and explain how the word has changed meaning because of this aspect. And skip the build a word phase. So I'm just using one of our previous words. And so I think the only major aspect that really changed was the first one because of the appearance of, is that about right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, I guess arguably the third one is evolving, but it's not
right.
changed, right?
So since we've been using change a lot and change was mentioned like a billion times, I'm going to use that. So now change doesn't mean a vision of the future anymore. It means the present. Like, as in things going on right now or in the immediate future.
Okay. And who would you like in a scene about that?
So we can have, I don't think we've had a scene with Blissey and Kiki yet. And maybe Sable Horse too. We can so we're talking about the person and the expeditions that Cole and Sable Horse have been on, since Cole has been joining Sable Horse more. And Kiki's talking about going to the human and what they had just talked about with Penny and Cole, like their conversation they just had. Now she's talking about it with the other two, about going on an expedition, talking about and gray and using that term, and then talking about how they have to do a change right now. So
Okay. I love that.
We can be meeting. Well, we will go to Blissey, since she's running around doing everything. It might just be easier for us to go to her instead of expecting her to schedule in a time. So Kiki and I guess at the workshop or
well,
wherever
I'm always
be.
happy to talk. Always.
Well, it's really interesting because I know that Stable Horse and Cole have been going on, on ventures, and Penny and Cole and I were all talking over tea about rap, and I think we've figured out how to tell the person what it means. And Cole and Penny helped me figure it out because of my painting of a mountain that was gray. And I don't like the term gray, but it's the easiest one to use when we're talking about rap. So I was thinking that we need to do that change.
Of course. I mean, I would be happy to. Did you want to speak to the human, or would you prefer that one of us who is already communicating did so?
Well, we were talking about Cole and I going to explain what rot means, saying it's gray. But probably Stable Horse, you already want to also come, but maybe we should all go because I need the support.
Of course,
And that's
you know
why.
that I'm there for you whenever you need me. I just worry about overwhelming. So perhaps we can do an introductory session to kind of, get the human adjusted. No offense to Cole, but Cole can be intimidating and the human is very small.
Hmm.
And I think Blissey at like 1/10 of the height of Cole is smaller than the human, certainly. But I I absolutely think that you would do an excellent job explaining. So I would be happy to set something up. Oh, sheep. And she drops her clipboard in a vat of molten something.
Cocoa.
Oh no!
It's Colton. It's
Molten
cocoa.
Molten cocoa. Definitely molten cocoa. Well, there go those. Okay, well, I guess I'll just have to redo that. That's fine. How about tonight? I'll meet you outside the humans shack, and we can see what we can do.
What do you think, Stable Horse?
I think that sounds brilliant. Figuring out a way to communicate with them is obviously paramount to figuring out if where we're headed is where they came from. So of course, I believe in your capacity for interfacing, probably more so than mine. I'm happy to be there to support you and to relay information as needed.
Don't underestimate yourself. You're really good.
Yeah. You're very easy to talk to.
It's true.
I find my talents better suited for finding than talking, but I appreciate no less. Absolutely, I think that's a brilliant idea.
And I think Blissey kind of now with no clipboard feels kind of without purpose. So she says, I have to run, but yes, let's meet outside the human's hut tonight at sundown and we'll go speak, okay?
Okay.
And that is the end of the scene.
The end.
And are we? I was gonna say last, but certainly not least. But I don't remember how many we've done so far. Do we have one more or two more?
One more.
One more. I was right.
Just me.
Last, but certainly not least.
Sorry.
It's okay. There's construction on the human's hut.
It's all the tinkering happening.
It's all the tinkering.
It's all
It's
the
non-stop tinkering out here.
It's just all ambiance, baby. It's all ambiance.
Exactly.
I think I'm going to use the hyperbole. What once was a common word now packs a greater punch. Its meaning is now much stronger than it once was. I think in connection to one of the aspects number 2, probably, and especially with our attempts to access back to Earth, I think going down the chimney as a hyperbole would be a good one. Making sure that we're in crunch time and we're basically making it by the skin of our teeth.
Okay. So like going down the chimney, so like ready to go just in time, or like making
Yes.
a deadline. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that. That hyperbole is one of my favorite cards. I think it's an awesome card. So that's excellent. Who would you like in your scene?
I think just to bring it full circle, take Cole out on this expedition to look for that pocket. And just Stable Horse really one to admire the surrounding area, but is relying on Cole's natural ability to feel when joy is around to sort of make that known.
Yes.
You smell it? This is roughly where Blissey said it ought to have been.
Yes, it's here. And I think Cole is gonna start sniffing around.
I mean, this is a discovery for the ages. We haven't. I mean, if it is as big as you say, I don't know if we need to go up or down or under. But really getting through the chimney on this one. If we are finding it now, just about ready to go.
I always hated that term. Yes. No, it applies. It makes sense. He never even really uses a chimney.
I don't.
No, I know. Listen, I know. Listen, you don't know. It's okay.
Never been.
No. Okay.
Well, this is good. We can use this pocket to reopen whatever was lost, right? I mean, Blissey surely knows some good engineers, or is probably herself a phenomenal engineer.
Yes, she's good at tinkering. She is, however, better at delegation.
Yeah, all good management is, I would argue.
Not my manager, but yes. Yes.
Are you not your own manager?
I just said she's not my manager.
Well, no,
Yes, I am my own manager.
Right.
I am the manager.
Understood.
Yes. Me and the M's.
This is good. Revolutionary. And if I may so anger you again, really getting through the chimney on this one. I mean, mere jingles away.
Just because I can smell it and I know that we're close, I'm going to choose not to be angry at this time.
That's a good sport.
You can keep your old colloquialisms. That's fine.
Hey, it works. It ain't broke,
Don't climb the chimney about it.
No, of course not. Of course not. Let's go spread the good news.
Yeah, I like the idea of you just both trekking through the snow as you have this conversation.
Oh, Stable Horse does not trek. It is just a sliding motion.
That's true. I keep forgetting.
Stable Horse is like a sled.
Yeah,
I keep
a
forgetting somehow.
self-propelling sled.
Yeah.
Do you have arms?
No.
No, they're a
So it's
stable
just
horse.
kind of
I'm a stable horse.
I love this so much. So it's just the footprints of Krampus, and then just
And then
a
just like
Yeah,
line.
two
two
parallel
lines.
lines.
Yeah.
Oh, incredible. Excellent. And that will conclude our age 2. Entering age 3, what was foreshadowed has come to pass. The end of the isolation is near. There is no escaping it. More of them. They fall from the sky one by one before they outnumber us. Interfacing is still clunky, but it's unquestionable at this point. Our missions are fundamentally incompatible, and now they are making it impossible for us to satisfy our purpose. What drastic action must we undertake? So, the obvious choice is that more humans arrive,
Hmm.
but I'm also open to other suggestions. More of something falls from the sky.
Could be more humans, or it could be like we said we're in like another realm, right? So it could just be like a
Yes.
thinning of the like maybe this pocket of joy has like caused some instability, and like now there's like other realms coming in, like maybe other holiday realms or something coming in.
Hmm.
You're saying Jack Skellington is
I'm saying
Yeah.
I'm saying the holiday doors in the forest are getting thin and things are leaking through the crack, maybe.
okay. I like this a lot. It's like a mixture of different things. Cause then it could be other humans, right? Like
Yeah.
there's some of them could be humans, but it could also be things like anthropomorphic pumpkins or, like bunnies that are, magically able to survive at the North Pole. More power to them.
Leprechauns and elves getting into arguments.
Exactly. I
Hmm.
love that. So everyone should have an H3 card. You are able to choose, by the way, I didn't specifically say this, but you are also able to use your cards from previous ages if you would like. For example, I have used 2 of my age 1 cards. But you also should have a new card for H3 that is an option that you have. Because we do not discard in this game unless you create a variant. So, is there someone who would like to go first for this round? If not, then I will go.
See what we got here. What's H3?
Yeah, take your time.
I don't know if I have an H3.
Do you not? Let me see what
Do
Roll
not.
20 is up to.
I do.
Oh,
While
you
you're
have.
looking,
These are all
Okay,
cards.
let me just give you one of those real quick. I don't know, Corset, how that happened, but
okay.
I'm an outlier.
I have my card though.
Okay. Cool. Let me hang on. Corset, I'm gonna trade with you and draw from my deck because Roll20 is not letting me do it. So I'm gonna
Okay.
offer you a card and just
Okay.
give me one of your cards. Oh, nope. There we go. Delete. It's gone forever now.
Goodbye.
Shuffle. Again, apologies. Roll20 works in mysterious ways. Page 3 deck.
Like I
Okay,
do see
I'm
the deck.
refreshing my. Yeah. Can you draw from it? I'm refreshing my page because Roll20 is just not having a good day right now.
It says draw multiple cards, and then if I put like draw one, it tells me it has no more cards in the deck.
It's, lying, but that's fine.
Liar. I'll refresh too. See if
Ah,
that's
sheep.
Sheep.
Yeah, sheep.
Oh,
Bring it back.
here's what I can do, Corset. I can draw one and then message it to
Okay.
you.
Sure, yeah, that's fine.
And if we end up with 2 of the same, I'm actually not upset about that. So,
Yeah.
All right. Is there anyone who would like to go first while I send a card to Corset?
Oh yes, I had one. It was up there. Where did it go?
Oh no, was it the Unity one?
Yeah.
It disappeared. How? I'm so sorry, it's gone forever.
Oof. Big oof. Okay.
I can recall them, but actually I can find it and read it to you. Hang on. I have a deck in my hand. Unity saying, when things look their darkest, this is what we say to remember who we are. Was that it?
Yes.
A time for courage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what is our Unity saying? I
Sorry.
like it already.
Sorry. We had an intrusive thought. We can't let the devil win. No, fuck it. It's Dahudore.
Yes. We love to see it.
Uh-huh.
Always welcome, Chris. How do you spell that? My God. I'm just spelling it like that for right now. I'll look it up.
Spell it how you
It's
want
another
to.
one of those unwritable words.
That's true.
It's another one of those onomatopoeias that's just like
It's the most unwritable that anything has ever been. Okay. So it's a show of unity. Is there a particular like reason for it, or does it just appear?
I think it has been something that we have said for many, many ages. Definitely one of those darkest night quotes. Like when we were still young, as far as a holiday goes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Unity saying. All right. Who would you like for this scene? Corset, if you can't read the photo I took, then I will resend.
All right.
Where can I ask where you sent it?
It's Discord.
Okay.
So hey, hear me out. Chaos. I want everybody.
All
let's
right.
go. Let's go.
Love this for you.
Okay. So we have other holidays coming in, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Then I think Cole has had people come to his cave outside of, the general workshop area set aside for him to do his own work. He has called you all in to speak.
Blissy is here. Blissy has a clipboard and is ready to take minutes.
Mhm. Well, this is a mess.
I actually think your home is very neat.
I don't think that's quite what he meant, dear.
It's not. Like, yeah, this is definitely not like Grinch vibes. This place is immaculate. It's spotless. Yeah, I meant our current predicament. With all of our new visitors.
I do think it's possible that up until this point we have had well, I think the change in privacy is going to be disruptive. It's already proving disruptive, if I'm honest.
Right. We had our place, just like the other holidays had theirs. What are we supposed to do now?
I think Blissey turns and looks at like Sable Horse and probably Pen and Kiki. Like they're gonna have the answer to that question.
Pen lets out like a long, deep sigh, just like, and just sort of like sinks deeper into Cole's couch, just like completely smothered in blankets, just deflating.
Sure. I think Cole will pour you some tea with brandy in it, obviously. Mostly brandy with tea in it, but yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, dear. Well, I mean, what we do what we can, Dahudore. I think we must manage as best we can. I think as chaotic as this has been, I do think this is perhaps a good sign. I know, Blissey, you are struggling to corral everyone, but Stable Horse, I think your work has led to this. I think, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I don't think we have more despair amongst us. I think we have just unstable joy. We are getting different flavors of joy from the other holidays.
This is my.
It's.
This is my. Is that? Am I saying it right? Do I have the right dialect?
You are. I don't know how moi it is. It's, to be honest, it hasn't been. It's been many ages since we've had these different kinds of joy together. I was but a young penguin myself when the doors between realms were thin.
Yes, and they were separated for a reason.
Yes, they were, but perhaps that reason may not be there anymore. After all, we were dealing with an imbalance of moi, an excess of despair, and while this is difficult to manage, to say the least, these other folks are bringing in joy. It is a different kind of joy, but you have to admit those bunnies are pretty damn cute.
I'm not allowed to eat them.
No. But I've noticed a couple of them hanging out on your basket. And, don't tell me you weren't. I saw you petting one. Don't act like you don't like them, Cole. I know you.
How dare you?
Well, you're not as sneaky as you think, son. So, what do we think? How are we going to corral them? Kiki, Stable Horse, any ideas?
Well, I have been painting eggs with some of those bunnies. It's been really fun.
Of course.
Yes. They don't like some of my designs, but it's not up to them anymore once they give me their eggs. So
the bunnies lay eggs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course. They're Easter bunnies.
Some are already painted when they lay them.
I think Blissey starts taking furious notes.
Of course bunnies lay eggs. Obviously.
Of course. Well,
I'm not educated in the ways of bunnies, I guess.
Well, I
think
you've
we
never
can
asked.
Dahudori with everyone. If we get maybe, if each of them has a representative, we can you know,
We can
Dahadori,
teach them.
right? With them, they could be
Yes.
a part.
I think
Great.
Stable Horse, you have the right of it. I think Kiki, your translation work that you've done with the human will be beneficial in achieving Dahudore with these many disparate beings.
I'll speak to Halloween.
Thank you, dear. I know you get
And the
along like a house
human's
on
name is
fire.
Tony.
Who's Tony?
The human. That's what it said its name was.
He's a
What?
toe? He didn't look like a toe to me.
A Tony.
I don't know. Maybe
A
toes
toe
are
and a
different.
knee.
Apparently.
Tony. Maybe it's a
Both.
combination of the two.
Maybe it means he can run fast.
So that's just a like a toe joint.
Quite
Maybe it's the
disgusting,
little
but
joint in the
fascinating.
toe.
We're getting a little off topic here.
Yes. Thank you, Stable Horse. Thank you, Stable Horse.
I actually really like we're getting a little off topic here, and then there's just like chatter and mutter as the end of that scene. Because I think like focusing in on Stable Horse just being like, I don't know if Stable Horse can roll eyes, but I feel like that's what's happening here metaphorically.
Probably a little bit, yeah.
All right, so we have Dahudore. Who has another word to add for Act 3? I'm going to try and keep us moving because I know we're going to be running slightly over our anticipated
I'd like to
time.
go next because this one is collaborative.
For sure.
So it's a proverb, and that's why it's collaborative. And it's mistakes are made, but they don't need to be repeated. Wisdom and a pithy saying. It gives us resolve when we need it most. So it says make a connection. Pick a previously defined word. Explain the meaning of the proverb you're looking to define. And then build a word. Build the proverb together. It must feature the word chosen in the make a connection phase.
Okay.
Lots of various instructions on this one.
There's a lot to do.
A lot to do. That's why I wanted to go next.
Do you have any particular word in mind that you want to connect to, or no, not yet?
Not yet. Just admit it. Just admitting it. I was like, no, I thought it was collaborative.
Well, I mean, maybe something to do with joy. It seems to be like the focal point of our conflict, right? Is like
lack of joy or the bringing of joy.
Yeah, I'm thinking like maybe something like it's always darkest before the dawn, but like like similar sentiment. Like but relating to joy and to holiday cheer and whatnot. I don't know. Anyone else have any ideas?
It could be jingle based. Like, I'm wondering if we could combine jingle and change, because change is now the present, right? So from like past to present, like I'm trying to think of like the present is the past, the present is right now is a gift. That's why they call it the present. That, but smart.
Change jingles on, as they say.
Yes, change does jingle on.
Change jingles on. I like that.
Sure. Applicable to either definition.
Change.
Jingles on.
Jingles on. All right. Who would you like in your scene?
I'm gonna go with Penny. And we'll do Blissey. So I don't know if it's just I'm trying to like mix it up. So it could be we were all meeting. We started with that meeting. Now let's say that we're trying to communicate, but it's not going. We're trying to like gather, herd the cats, as they say. And it's lots of confusion right now as we're trying to adjust to this, not just this new way of life, but like understanding how they're bringing joy to us and what this exchange means and what we need to like fix anything. So right now it's very MRAP. It's very MRAP in our world.
It can be, but
or we're feeling it's MRAP right now as we're trying to solve this thing. So, because I'm trying to think of a way to like, we're incorporating the proverb into how we're handling
Sure.
this emotional transition.
I think maybe Penny is like reassuring you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think maybe we have this meeting and it's a little bit frantic, and I think Penny approaches you, Kiki, or where are we for this scene?
We could say we just left the meeting.
Yeah, so we're like walking out together.
Yeah.
I can see the furrow in your brow, Kiki. I don't like it.
She takes some paint and smears over it.
We're go, and she just pats you with a flipper. We're going to be all right. Change jingles on, with or without us. We're going to get through this.
Change does jingle on, but it feels very MRAP right now. Not just for me. Even though the bunnies are great.
To jingle on with me rather than without me. I think perhaps there's going to be some big changes coming up.
Yes, I think you may be right. I think you may be right, Blissey. But as much as we wish change would jangle on with us, sometimes leaves us behind. That's okay.
I'm just worried because what if the new magics, the Halloween magic and the Easter magic and even human magic, if it's a thing, what if they aren't? What if we can't use them? What if they can't bring joy to us?
Well, I think it's very natural to be afraid of change. I understand. It's been hard for me to see so much change in my life. And it is hardest in the beginning. The first big changes are quite difficult. But I think we hold on to joy by adapting, by bringing in the new. And I think don't let them get you down. It may be different, but it is still joy. And I have the utmost faith in you to bring us all together.
You might have a point. I have been using gray, but I've been using it with other colors.
You didn't whisper it that time.
Yeah.
Progress.
It's not as
jingles
scary.
On.
It's not as scary when it's with other colors.
And I think Blissey, as she's walking, just looks very thoughtful. And unless anybody has any objections, I think on that note, we can leave that scene right there.
Scooch on.
Wonderful. I will go next unless, because I'm anticipating this being a fairly fast one. Again, I should say I'm not trying to hurry us along. I just want you all to be able to be free to go back to your lives. Um, I got a new source. Out of the blue, we hear a word, our word set by someone we did not expect. So I pick a previously defined word, and a group that previously did not use this word now uses this word. The bunnies have learned how to say
Aw,
And it's so cute when they say it.
Cole was
I
like,
love
this is
it.
the end.
I have feelings about this immediately. Like,
I have such an image of Cole being like the dad who didn't want the kitten and then
Mhm.
is like cuddling it and like babying it, and the kitten is always like on his shoulder, but it's bunnies.
Mhm.
The bunnies just want to be friends.
It's
so
giving
much.
grumpy dad who didn't want the pet but loves it more than anyone else,
That is
actually.
true. Like actually cares for them regularly. Yeah.
Yeah. The most responsible one, the most invested.
Mhm. It's like we'll 1000% just yell at them. It's like, no, get your dumbass over here. Stop
Yes,
it.
yeah.
And it's just,
So I wonder in that case if Cole is the one who maybe discovered this.
yep.
So I think that this is Blissey who has heard that there has been some progress with communication, who has shown up and finds Cole, I don't know, wrangling the bunnies.
They better be all over him in an adorable way.
Yeah, he's sitting on the. He just wherever he was, he has just sat down.
I am so happy that you have progressed in your relationship with the bunnies.
They learned a new word today.
They did?
Mm-hmm.
What did they say?
And then they just all like the seagulls from Finding Nemo. One starts going rap. He's like rap.
This is a may have outsiders card, so the bunnies can be here, absolutely. They're so talented.
It's one word, and
They're bilingual.
that's all they say. Exactly. Make it stop. Just holding a bunny up.
I don't want to stifle their creativity. I mean,
They're
this is
cute.
amazing.
I can't eat them.
Sableye. I'm sorry, Sableye. I'm on the Pokemon. The Pokemon today are just invading my brain.
It's true.
Stable horse. Have you seen this? Stable horse. Have you seen the bunnies? They can talk.
That's outstanding.
Rap.
Okay, that's a start. That's I mean, this is good. This is good. This means we can
Rap.
pass on everything that we know.
I think Penny is like was walking with Stable Horse and is just cracking up laughing, and that's their only contribution.
This.
I think she's like like cackling. Like,
Don't laugh at this old woman. This is your fault. This is your doing. Fix it.
oh, Stable Horse, this is so good. Oh my god.
I mean, this is a breakthrough of all breakthroughs as far as communication goes.
Yes, look at his face.
Stable horse, I really think maybe they can be helpful in your expeditions once we set up more of a vocabulary for them. I'm sure they have knowledge of underground that we don't have.
Yes, Cole, you could spend more time with them on the expeditions.
I would rather. It's just like holding the bunny. It's gonna set that one down.
How many are in your basket? I count 12, but I can't see inside.
Well, that's because the other 7 are in my lap.
I visualize this like that scene from 8 out of 10 Cats where Jimmy Carr has the basket of kittens that just keep escaping, and Sean Locke is just sitting there going, "What is their crime?" It's
They know what they've done.
iconic.
They know, yes.
Yeah, it's just putting them back in the basket as they escape. And I think that's a perfect place to leave that. Who would like to go next?
Oh, how many words are in Act 3? Is it all of us? Do we have 3?
It is all of us, unless you would like to pass and move on to Legacy for some reason.
I have one we could use.
Okay.
I kind of want to
Yeah.
use one of my Age 1 cards.
Yeah.
I think it would be funny for Penny to use this one. So I want to use technology. A vital tool for the isolation. It may be something from the outside world or that we've developed ourselves. And I think maybe Stable Horse and Penny have been working on a way to harness the chaotic energy of like the joy that they've uncovered. So I think that it's some sort of like, I think it's like a song. Oh, I think it's wait, okay. I think it's Jangle, and I think it's like the sound of bells, and it's I think they're like I think they're like jingle bells, and they're used, and we found a way to like use them to like harness and focus the joy that we found.
Can I suggest a thing to add for that, because it's using jingle, which is a unit of time? If there is some way to like tap into the different dilations of the universes that the worlds that they're coming from, so it is taking like absorbing joy from various points in time, as well as
Yeah, I think it's like harmonizing. I think it's like harmony. It's like harmonizing the different like resonances from the different realms. I think each realm has like a different like primary frequency, like primary note, like tuning forks, and they've all been sort of like chaotic, and this allows us to like harmonize them together so that we can
Are
like.
you saying that this is synergy?
I'm saying this is physics. I'm saying this is superposition. I'm saying this is.
I'm just imposing the word synergy upon this.
I'm saying this is synergy. But Penny doesn't understand the word synergy.
No,
So.
I mean, to be fair, neither does Blissey.
Yeah.
So let's be clear on this. So who would you like in your scene?
I think Stable Horse for sure. And yeah, I think anyone else who maybe is like on the expedition or like debriefing from the expedition. So probably Cole, and then if anyone wants to pop in as we're like discussing the results.
Mhm.
So explain to me again, young horse, how this works.
It is a set of sleigh bells, I call it jangle, that leftover pocket that we found of joy when I went on that expedition with Cole. I figured if it was indeed degrading the barrier between the various religious realms, that we could use it to perhaps crack them open a little bit and maybe even begin to interface with them in a more meaningful capacity. So this uses the music of sleigh bells and the joy that those create to reach across several jingles and pull from other points in high joy areas, high joy times.
Fascinating. I love it. Also, I love how Kiki has painted them and attached them to you. You're sort of a sleigh yourself now. I think it's
Yes,
beautiful.
yes.
Teamwork.
I am aware of the repurposing of my my skis for the exact purpose. If you hooked up a cart to me, I'm sure we could
Yes, well, I
make
mean,
something of it.
Cole has been kind enough to help corral the bunnies into sleigh bunnies, so that's been quite.
Morale is a strong word, and
Yeah,
also not my
you've done
fault.
very well with them.
Yes, you've really become accustomed to those little rabbits, huh?
I'm just picturing like a bunch of bunnies, like sled dogs, in front of a flat rocking horse sled with sleigh bells on it.
I think the thing that happens now that we've sort of figured this out is we help everyone get home and maybe even get through the chimney as far as getting Christmas done. Slap this on one of the reindeer in front of the sled, and Santa should be able to get back to Earth, no problem.
Ingenious. We didn't need a new bridge. We needed a new way to
Music.
fly through.
Absolutely outstanding stuff, if you ask me. Couldn't have done it without all of you, of course. Your insights have been absolutely, necessary.
Don't sell yourself short there, stable horse. You're quite the inventor yourself.
Yeah, if it weren't for you, we wouldn't know any of the things that were out there.
You've done well.
Ah! He did it! He said something encouraging. It's the bunnies.
I'm telling Santa immediately, by the way.
I will disassemble you.
You can
And
try.
that is where we end that scene. There's
Yeah.
just an outcry from everybody, and then it cuts. Fantastic. We have one more word for this round, and then we're going to go straight into legacy. So we will define that word, but I have dealt everyone a legacy card. You basically have an option of 3 prompts on the same card to narrate an epilogue, a short epilogue for your character.
Mhm.
So if you would like to take a look at those, then you certainly may. If you can't see that card for some reason, let me know and I will draw one. But I think Roll20 let me give one to everybody. And now our final word for age 3.
Not so much a word actually. It's this one. I really quite like this one. What we pass on, to the next generation. Playing on a previously defined word explained how we teach this word to those who don't yet know, and then do the scene related to that. I thought, in addition to the bunnies learning rap, a little scene of teaching the other holidays about joy would be fun, and I thought that could include all of us, on account of it's kind of our little project, figuring out how to teach joy to all these new holidays and sort of begin to communicate better with them.
Lissy has made a slide presentation, but we don't have like projector technology, so it's just like on a flipboard.
It's Kiki's art.
We'll say, yeah, it's just magic. It's fine. We can magic about it.
I think Penny has been helping translate for the animals because she's found that as a penguin, she can communicate better with like sort of the animal creatures. So she's there sort of like doing little perps and translations for like the Halloween cats and the Easter bunnies and whatnot.
You got the black cats, the Easter bunnies, the turkeys.
Mm-hmm, the turkeys, yes.
Very gruesome holiday for them.
Kiki uses pictographs for the leprechauns.
See, to me, this feels like kind of a montage, maybe, like rather than a scene, right? You have like the flipboards and the pictographs, you have the translations, you have like a very serious looking pen sitting at a table with various assorted animals.
Cole is fighting one of the Halloween spirits because they were mean to the bunnies.
Yeah.
Aww.
Oh yeah, they're gonna
mess
go
with
down.
our props.
Yeah. And then like Blissey gets called over to mediate and is just like uh,
They didn't do
stable
anything.
horse. Stable horse, what are you doing in this montage?
I think Stable Horse is probably just supervising, explaining certain things to each of the translators and each of the participants to sort of help them uh, simplify and parse down the information we're trying to pass on.
I feel like there's definitely some of Blissey's slides that you have to like cross stuff out on. You're like, no, that is it's not. No. I'm visualizing this like that scene in Buffy with the like
The overhead projector in
the
The Gentleman.
projector. Yeah, the gentleman
Yes.
in Hush. Um that's I think a very charming montage for us to leave Act 3 on, which means I'm going to read the description of Legacy. The last moments, or the aftermath, our original purpose. Do we fight on without end, or do our routines for self preservation take over? Some consider the unthinkable. Do we join them and abandon our defining task? Can we? So we're going to each pick a prompt from our legacy card. I'm going to go first. So, Blissey, I'm choosing a feeling of relief in your new life. And I think that Blissey is thriving because she has more people to delegate to, but also more people to like direct. And the bunnies and the various animals are all really good at different things. So there is a larger skill pool to kind of draw from. So when we talk about like the legacy and dialect, it is the death of a language, but I think it is the development of a new language as this new community builds. Because a death of a language is not always a permanent final deletion. It can also be an evolution into a different dialect. And I think that Blissey over time becomes kind of um like the communication hub, um and makes a strong effort to make sure that everyone can be helpful in as much as they want to. So she is still directing. She still has her clipboard that did not melt in the hot chocolate vat. And
This always kind
she
of smells like
is,
cocoa.
it just smells like cocoa forever. Um, I have shirts from when I worked at Starbucks over a decade ago, and the sleeves still smell like chai. So she is content in her new life, and it is in fact bliss. Um, who would like to go next?
Hmm.
I have one. If
Right.
people need a
Yeah.
second to think. Um, so, mine. I'm going to pick. I had a couple options to choose. Mine was a grave misunderstanding or a memory of the old ways or coming across the rubble and ruin. And I feel like with Penny, it's got to be sharing a memory of the old ways. And I think that even though the aspect of keeping things secluded has pretty much been completely turned on its head and subverted and is it's not really what it is anymore. I think that Penn is continuing the oral history so that we remember what it was like before the different kinds of joys merged together to help bring, the holidays about. So I think she continues sharing stories of things that happened in the past and like keeping the memory alive of as the language, dies and evolves, she, you know, is keeping like a vestige of it alive. She's keeping like the memory of it alive. And I think she spends a lot of time with the younger holiday creatures, like sharing stories as whenever they have questions about um about the North Pole and what it was like before. And I think she spends a lot of time with Cole because he is like one of the oldest people there, and so I think they spend a lot of time like reminiscing about the old days.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. Who would like to go next?
I have something, and Penny, I'm sorry.
Let's go.
So there, for my card, let's see if we can put that up. Hello, there we go. There you go. So choose one of the options. It says, what can be learned from the rubble and ruin, or tensions between you and the outsiders, or what is a hard decision made in secret? So I think with the way things have gone, and with the isolation, with the imbalance of the joy and despair, things were getting better, but they needed a little help. And so I think for a while, Cole was holding out and staying there. But eventually, I think, gives up his corporeal form to sort of be a part of the mythos, be a part of the stories, but not be there in physical form. To like sort of give some of the joy back to make sure that things get back to stable.
To kind of become one with the universe again,
Mm-hmm. One with the realm.
one with the realm.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. Who would like to go next?
You can go next.
Delightful.
My choices were Contempt for the Outsider's Ways, or A Ritual for the Dead, or As the Walls Come Crumbling Down. And I think As the Walls Come Crumbling Down make the most sense for Stable Horse, because they have so many new realms to explore in map. So many different holidays to figure out what their particular magic is like, what their traditions are, and figure out why the realms are so easily accessible now. They are continuing their quest for not only answers, but for ways to establish connections with Earth in more consistent and equitable ways. Because the jangle, a single wearer item, can make the jump. It is probably in the greater interest to find a more consistent way, or to figure out how the original bridges were built and see if there's a way to sort of rebuild them. But keep things nice and open so that people can continue to learn from each other. And of course, Stable Horse does also come back and check in with Christmas and report on all new data and information. Uh, they are happily realm hopping.
I love this realm hopping wooden horse on rails.
Fully a toy that does not move in any meaningful capacity except for sliding inexplicably.
Yep, it's perfect. It's the dream.
Certainly something.
It's my gender, to be honest.
Yeah, deeply relatable. Corset.
That leaves Kiki. So mine were, as to end my story, how I'll be remembered, or out of the ash a seedling sprouts, or cast out again and again. So I'm going to go with out of the ash a seedling sprouts. And I'm interpreting that as the ash is the old way of speaking our language, like the old way how we used to communicate. It's changed once the people started coming, once those other creatures started coming. Because Kiki was in charge of doing pictographs, she created a written language, a visual written language. So instead of letters, it's pictographic based language, which has come out of it's kind of the opposite of what happened with Penny, who is the archivist of the old language, and this new language is one we can speak as well as see. So, and it's also color based because you know her colors. So the pictographs, like one image can have many different meanings with many different colors depending on the color. And I think that kind of goes along with just how we evolved this language together and how it was utilized. It kind of is a natural evolution for it to go.
Yeah, I love that. Color is can be such a powerful thing. That's so interesting to me. All right, and with that, we come to the end of our isolation and the end of our legacy for now, and the end of our game. I'm going to finish with a quote. Dialect is full of these interesting quotes about language, and then we're going to go around. We're going to give the super quick where we can find you, and then we will complete our day because I have already run significantly over the time that I was supposed to use for this game. Sorry. My language is my awakening, and so I hope that language strengthens and sustains you. My name is Jilly. You can find me at Oh Look It's Jilly most places on the internet, where I post about all of the editing and TTRPG things that I do. And that's me. JT, you are the chosen one.
I super. I'm JT. You can find me all over the internet at WeebG. Also all over the internet at Entropy Emporium, because it's technically my channel. No matter what they say, it's technically my channel. Super brief, you can find me on High Shelf Collective this Wednesday, running the Beacons of Farlight special 2-episode side storyline. We are looking at a reflection using the Kids on Broom system instead of beacons. Come check that out. It's going to be super fun and cute. And then you can find me on Entropy Emporium not this Thursday, Friday, not this Thursday, Friday, but next Thursday, Friday for God Complex. I almost said God Killer, and D&D 5e. That is about all that I have going on. Thanks for having me. Stable Horse lives on as his sled.
Don't we have something Friday?
We do have something Friday. We do. I almost forgot. I'm running a charity game on Tales from the Table for the LA Fire charity. I'm running Grimoire Punk. I love Grimoire Punk. You get to make a deck of cards into a spell book. It's so cool. Q and also our wonderful, lovely, perfect tech for this show are both in it, as well as some other really cool folks. It's gonna be fun. Come say hi. Come be Grimoire Punks. Cast spells. You know, the wizard jokes.
Maybe Frodo.
That's it. I'm good.
Frodo's
Next.
an icon.
Frodo. He will 1000% be in attendance, my son.
Speaking of which, Q, oh, sorry, you're drinking water. Would you like me to come back to you?
No, we're good.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Q. As I said at the top thing, you can find me at Midnight Inc. That's Midnight no more _INQ. Q is my name. I'm sure you get it. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. I keep making cowboys. Speaking of which, in the Grimoire Punk game, I will be playing a cowboy. He's going to be a lot of fun. Apart from that, you can find me over, if not here, you can find me over at Tales from the Table Studios. I'm part of the production team. I'm also on Entropy Emporium, and I'm in a lot of games here, you know? So just, you can find me. I'm out here.
In places doing things. Yeah.
And stuff.
And
because
stuff.
reasons, yes. Exactly.
Yes. Corset.
Oh, why, hello there. I didn't say where you could find me at the beginning, but I am Corset Ribbons in most spaces on the internet, on all the socials. Recently, I made a Blue Sky account, so you can find a lot of my burlesque stuff and my thoughts on life, the universe, and everything there. I will be performing at the Lodge. It is a drag and burlesque bar that used to be a ski lodge, and it is up in Frederick, Maryland. And I'll be performing April 11th um, for anyone who wants to come see. And hopefully, I will have more pictures and videos of that because right now I only have pictures and videos of my first performance. This will be the same routine. So if you are in the area and want to come and see it in person, please do. It is an excellent venue. And at times like these, we need more money in those venues to keep them as safe spaces for people, especially in quite rural areas such as Boonesboro.
Excellent. And last but certainly not least, Isabel.
Hello, everyone. I have been Isabel. You can find me all over the internet at Isabel is okay. More specifically, I am in a long-running D&D game using the new 2024 rules, actually, over on D'Angelo's Twitch channel, _D'Angelo on Twitch. He is running a really lovely Call of the Netherdeep game, and I am playing a angsty tiefling wizard who may or may not be runaway loyalty from perhaps an evil empire. You'll have to come check it out every other Saturday at 4 p.m. Pacific. So we are skipping this week, so we'll be back on February 22nd on D'Angelo's Twitch, _D'Angelo. That's me.
Wonderful. Well, God, do you have anything you would like to add before I take us out?
Yes, just a few quick things. Hello, hi, it's me again. If you are not already following Live from the Apocalypse, there are some social links in the chat. You can follow us on all the platforms to know what's going on. I keep saying all the platforms. We really are just using Blue Sky these days, but you can follow that if you want to know what's going on. Everything else is bad and dead. And much like the rest of the world, there's also a Discord community. It's a great place full of great people. We'd love to have you be a part of it. Yeah, I can't say enough nice things about the community. That's it for me. Julie, do you have anything else you want to say?
No. Play
All right.
dialects. Be kind to each other.
Play dialects, be kind to each other. Thank you all so much again for playing this. Thank you for watching, everybody who hung out. Thank you to our cast. Thank you to Julie for running this game. And we're going to disappear in just a second. No one we follow or know or are friends with are streaming right now, but I found some very nice people called RPG Clinic who are playing Werewolf the Apocalypse, and we will raid them. So we'll just go say hi, be friendly. And I think that's going to do it for us. So say, oh, that's not true. We're going to be live again in like an hour and a half. Tonight we're doing Academy H, our Masks actual play podcast that we record live on Twitch that I run. You might know it. You know it. You love it. Tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're doing that. So come back, I guess, or just keep the webpage up and it'll refresh automatically. Anyway, that's it for us. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Jingle all the way.
Jingle all the way.